Welcome to the show. I see the hot right here on Active Citizens. My name is Ifoma Oji, and joining me this afternoon is Miss Sharon Enemchuku. Good afternoon, Sharon. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm very well. Good afternoon, and you?
I'm great. It's as if we're using this line too much. This you look good as always. Like we do that every single time. Since we need to break that,
we'll just
so
change
maybe
it.
from
Switch
tomorrow
it up a
we'll
little.
switch it up. All right, I'm doing great as always. So we are beginning in Anambra State, where the governor of Anambra State, Governor Chukwuma Soludo, constituted an authority for the immediate shutdown of Onitsha Main Market following the sit-at-home order. And this, I believe, has garnered a lot of reactions and backlash on social media and in Onitsha. This was instituted. That should be on Monday. Today is the day 2 of that order, and we'll take a look at how Onitsha Main Market is faring in day 2 of the said order. Let's take a look.
Now these people are serious, so these people are serious with that talk. Saludo di commune. Saludo di commune. Saludo di commune. Yes, saludo.
Okay, for the place, so even in it very tight. Then the mother and Nachi says, didn't even motor and chanting in a ton of back. Okay, from the police and our police can come.
Now, the governor of Anambra State warned that the closure could be extended if the traders fails to comply with the directive, adding that the security agencies have sealed the market to enforce the order. And he said that the sit-at-home, the continuous sit-at-home order. Revenues from Anambra State to be crippled. He said that the Monday sit-at-home, that the state has been losing about 8 billion naira. And now a lot of people are asking, if we are losing, or Anambra State is losing about 8 billion naira on Mondays in a week, shutting down the entire market for 1 week, is it not gross loss for the people? But before I have your take on this story, Sharon, I would love to read a lot of comments that I saw on X, and this one is quite long. Now he says, my attention has just been drawn to the news that Governor Soludo has ordered the closure of Onitsha Main Market for 1 week because people are still observing the sit-at-home in solidarity with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Igbo cause. Onitsha is not just any market, it is one of the biggest economic hubs for Igbo, that is Ndibo, a lifeline for traders, families, and the entire Southeast economy. You don't force people out of their will like this. If you come to Onitsha Market, you will see the real diversity. We have native doctors, pastors, Christians, pagans, even Muslims that already know that their region has been condemned by terrorists. People from all walks, but as Igbo, we believe that by the sacred word, Onye Angala Waneya, let no one leave their brothers or sisters behind in interpretation. Now, that's our bond, culture, our strength. No governor, no matter how powerful, can erase the overnight. Soludo, you're just a governor, not a king, not a god. By using force and closing shops to break people's will, you're only increasing insecurity in the state when people are pushed to the wall, when livelihoods are destroyed, when anger builds from economic hardship, when insecurities rise, crimes increase, and things spiral. If any insecurity or casualties gets recorded in the coming days or weeks because of this heavy-handed approach, Soludo, you will have accounts to give. You orchestrated it by locking down people's shop and punishing them for standing in solidarity. This isn't leadership. This is provocation. Respect the people's voice and their right to choose. Now, I'll take one more tweet. The problem is not opening shop. If someone who stays, let's say Ihiala, for example, or even Olu, how do they come from house to open shop on Monday? Will you guarantee their safety from where they live to main market, to and fro? Now, there's a lot of comments, but there was something that is really striking that I want us to start our conversation today with. A lot of people now are saying that Soludo is not in support of IPOB, and that is why he is shutting down the market for 1 week, and that is why he's not in solidarity with this sit-at-home order. Do you believe that? Do you find that true?
I think first and foremost, Governor Soludo is a governor. He is not obligated to stand in solidarity with any movement or any group, except he voluntarily does that. So, like, I think this is something we're missing. We always put our residents last. We always put ourselves last. But we can learn from America, who is always putting Americans first, like what Donald Trump will tell you. So no, I do not think he is obligated to stand in solidarity with IPOB. I think he is obligated to think about Anambarians and their welfare, their prosperity, their growth, economically, financially, infrastructurally, development-wise. All of these things, I believe, are key areas that he should concern himself with. And like I say, my earlier stance is still where I'm standing on the fact that as governor of Anambra State, it is imperative personally for me that he makes decisions, whether they are harsh or tough, that would be for the benefit of the state. There are some things that he has done in the past that I've not agreed with him on, but you see this particular one, full on green flag on it, although I still have some cons, which is security that people keep mentioning. And when you look at some of these videos that have been trending, you would see you see security operatives, you see them active. I would want that to continue. That is all I'm asking for, that the security agencies that he has given instructions to ensure that the market is closed and shut down, I want them to continue to ensure the lives and properties of people in Onitsha Main Market are secured, not just in the main market, but in Anambra as a whole. And yes, I would say this again, IPOB sit at home started one day. It can also end one day. So that's my stance.
Okay, now a lot of people are still saying that he should issue a statement that he will provide adequate security, like overhaul the entire market with security if this order should stand, and now just come out and shut down people's
which is what he's already done.
But yeah, what we are saying now is, do you think that he would actually tighten security in Onitsha market? That's number one. And a lot of people too are saying that if anything should happen to people that will come out on Mondays to open their shops, that will he take accountability for that? Those are the questions that people are asking.
Now, so I think that there is a high probability that he would tighten security, just because now attention has been drawn to Anambra State. If he wanted to, if his political will, or if his will to do was at 60%, now it should have heightened up to about 70 to about 80%, because a lot of people are paying attention now. They want to see how he's going to handle this. They want to see how he's going to treat this particular case. So I do think that the probability that he is going to heighten security is really high now. And as to whether he's going to take accountability for the lives that are being lost, I think that is something he would have to come out and address the people of Anambra on, if that is also something he's willing to promise them, that, oh, no matter what happens, he's going to do this, which means in essence he's ensuring that there will be no lives lost, because nobody wants to take accountability for any life that is lost or losing a life. So it means that if he's ever going to come out to say that, he is prepared to ensure that people's lives are protected at all costs.
Okay.
Which is going to be a lot of work on his own part.
Exactly. Maybe he is willing to do that, and I'm just going to support what you're saying with security is the main issue here. And I gave my earlier stance on this issue, and I said I feel like there are better ways he would have done this, because if you say you lose 8 billion naira weekly as a result of this sit at home by the IPOB, what now that you've constituted this, shut down the entire market for 1 week and promise extension if people don't return to work, haven't you lost massively? Is that not a gross loss? That's what I am saying. So I feel like he would have dialogued with the people of Onitsha. Somebody said that he would have met with the appropriate authorities, the authorities in Onitsha, have a one-on-one conversations with them and see how better he can come up with this, no sit at home on Mondays, that instead of, coming out to shut the entire market, because invariably you're telling people that paid for their shops that your opinion does not matter, because at the end of the day, it is their shop, it is their money. So if they don't come on Monday, it's their loss and not completely your own loss. But there are better ways to address this, and I believe so that security or insecurity is the main issue here. If he is going on with this particular policy now, we need to see him overhaul the entire market with security men and women to protect the lives of people that are coming to Onitsha from their houses and maybe like going back. That's all we want to see before this matter could be put to rest. But let's move over to the second story for the day. Now, Abuja remains a standstill. We have a lot of choking, interesting stories for this afternoon. Striking workers of the Federal Capital Territory Administration continue to defy a court order directing an immediate return to work. The FCT Minister Nyesom Wike has warned that failure to comply with the ruling of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria could attract sanctions, insisting that the rule of law must prevail. Now, Wike says the administration was already engaged in dialogue before what he describes as political interference hijacked the strike, adding that several of the workers' demands are either unreasonable or already addressed. Let's take a look at Wike addressing the issue.
Of our industrial relationship with this, with the outcome of today's judgment, what are we likely to see going forward? Will there be a sit-up between the administration and the union to finally hire?
We have been always disposed to have a dialogue. Like I told you, they have met with the management, they have met with the security agencies. What are the issues? We have talked with them for. But nothing, they give you no problem, nothing will happen before you know they're going to do a different thing. If genuinely, it's okay. We have seen what has gone, what has happened, then we'll talk. But if it's on blackmail, intimidation, I would not agree. If you're not going to hire all the civil servants in the whole world, take over, it's not my business.
In the spirit of our industrial relationship, with the outcome of today's judgment, what are we likely to see going forward? Will there be a sit-up between the administration and the union to finally hire?
We have been always disposed to have a dialogue. Like I told you, they have met with the management, they have met with the security agencies. What are the issues? We have talked with them for. But nothing, they give you no problem, nothing will happen before you know they're going to do a different thing. If genuinely, It's okay. We have seen what has gone, what has happened. Then we'll talk. But if it's on blackmail, intimidation, I would not agree. If you not going to hire all the civil servants in the whole world, take over, you're not my business.
Insists their grievances remain unresolved, with some openly calling for the minister's removal, a move that has shifted the dispute from labor to politics. Now, as essential services remain disrupted, the question now is whether enforcement alone can end the standoff, or whether renewed dialogue is the only path to resolution. We'll take a video of the people, the workers in FCT, addressing, or rather protesting, or saying that they won't be going back to work unless the minister is removed. All right, I hope the media team is working on getting that video for us to take a look. But the workers now are saying that they are not going to return to work if the minister is not removed. And we remember earlier that these workers petitioned to the court and to the FCT minister 3 weeks ago, or rather 2 weeks ago, saying that their demands have not been met, that a lot of them are feeling unrepresented and marginalized, and that their welfareism is not being looked into. And they sent the petition to the FCT minister, sent it once and it wasn't attended to. They sent it again. Now this second time, after it wasn't attended to, they now took to protesting, and that was why we saw them protesting. Was it yesterday, saying that the minister should resign, that no wiki, no, I don't know if they said no workers, but I didn't get that completely. But it's more like them expressing their grievances to how they have been treated over the years. And I'm just going to ask, because there was something Minister Wike said now when he was addressing the pressmen. He said that these people, they're already dialoguing, having mediation on how they are going to work on the welfareism of the staff of FCT. And he equally said that some of their demands are frivolous and he wouldn't be attending to that. And I'm just going to ask, if he said now that they have resolved the issue, why is it that a lot of people are still protesting and saying that he should be removed from office?
So you see, Minister Wiki, I think he's someone who has allowed his arrogance to seep into his work. If you come out and say that the demands of the workers, of which you're a minister, is just as much as saying he's the governor of the state, but like you're the minister and you're coming out to say that their demands are unreasonable on national television, or you even call the press conference, and the way and manner in which, this is not new, but I'm just stating that the way and manner in which he was addressing and talking about them, he even went as far as saying, oh, even if they hire more workers to come and that it's not going to change anything. He is putting he's coming from a defensive point of view, trying to defend himself and defend his own stance. And I don't think this matter is going to die down as quickly, because you are not addressing anything, you are not saying anything,
and
right?
You said they've addressed the issue.
It's not going to be addressed. It's not, because if you have people on the street, I wonder what you addressed closed doors. So I think that what is going to happen here is that we're going to see more agitations, we're going to see more protests, people expressing themselves in the streets, calling for, now the fact that they're even calling for him to be sacked or for him to be removed is a new twist that I personally didn't even see coming. I thought they would come from the point of view that they want to be settled. Now it seems as though maybe closed doors, they've tried to have a one-on-one conversation and it was clashing. They were not able to get anything meaningful out of that conversation, which is why they're asking for him to be sacked. So that is another thing, right? I don't know if they really told the right line, asking that he be sacked on and all of that. So I really think that they should not get carried away and concentrate on what they're trying to achieve. What really is the goal of the protest? What do they want to achieve from the protest? They can concentrate on that and then, you know, see what happens going forward.
All right. Now, Minister Wike equally said that a lot of people politicians hijacked this protest for their political reasons. reasons. And I'm just going to ask, because a lot of people, if you check the comment section, said he procured this same protest so that he's not procuring this. I think I will address this one later. Not procuring the protest, but saying that he was actually the one that orchestrated the entire ruling, the court saying that the workers should come back to work. But let me equally ask this question before I move over to the second thing that I'm saying now. Now, Minister Wike said that a lot of politicians hijacked this protest because of political reasons. Do you think that people actually hijacked it? Because it's looking like some people did, because why will some of them be saying that Minister Wike should resign or should be sacked if it is not politically motivated?
For the first time, I think I will agree with Wike. This is what I said earlier, where I don't think, like I said earlier, they are diverting from their main goal. So if he's saying that it was politically motivated, I might agree, because what they're asking for now is not for their arrears to be paid or for them to be settled. They're asking and demanding for him to be impeached from his position, which is really not going to solve anything. If the next minister comes and he still has the same maybe attitude to work that Wike has, they're still not going to be paid. So I think that maybe there is a high chance that this was politically motivated, and this was, you know, powered by some people who want Wike out of that position. And I understand that a lot of people are not happy with him, but using a protest as a front for that is not really advisable, because then it's going to undermine other protests. People who are genuinely trying to get their voices heard and trying to express themselves and their grievances will now be maybe put in the same group as what is happening in Abuja, as them being a tool in the hands of a certain group of people. So
okay, well said. Wike equally said that the law is meant to be obeyed. Now, the law has ruled in favor of Minister Wike and instructed the workers to return to work and end the protest, end the strike. But now, we are seeing now that the workers of FCT are refusing to return to work. If we see that video, if we could pull up that video, you see one of them saying that they cannot return since Wike said they will not meet their demands, that they will just go home and wait for their demands to be met, that they are not going to protest anymore. And one man in particular was saying that the FCT minister should resign. But it's a striking statement of someone in the comment section, and I won't read it, but let me just say the way he said it. He said it was Wike that procured this entire court judgment and court ruling in his favor in the first place, and that is why he is coming out to enforce that which the law stated or the court stated. And he equally said, FCT minister, he equally said that if the workers do not return to work as they should, that there are sanctions that will follow through. Now, do you think that it was actually him that went to court and made a pact with maybe the judge to overrule the case and work in his favor?
I really don't know. I mean, I can't tell, but because our judiciary is already it's not even trustworthy at this point, and it's already been compromised, a lot can slide, right? A lot can be allowed to pass, and nobody is going to really look at it twice. So if they're saying that this judgment from the court is because of Wike's influence, I think I also understand that, because we know that Wike ensured that the judges in FCT have their own quarters, they have their own landed properties, which is going to be in their name even after they stop working or they retire. So this is why we say, when you're trying to interfere with the judiciary or trying to do anything for them, you have to be careful so you don't blur that line between trying to be kind or doing the right thing and people seeing it as corruption and bribery. Because when you have somebody like that who is in a way your benefactor, you are going to have biased judgment. So if they're saying that this is what they think is happening, My response would have been to take it up to court, but it is that same court that they don't have confidence in. So I really do understand how tricky this can be for the FCT workers.
Now, finally, on this topic now, do you think that if truly this protest was not hijacked by any politicians, that their demands, number one, is going to be met? And do you think that even if they don't meet their demands, do you think the FCT workers are going to resume work as being ordered by the court?
Not really. I don't think it's because of Wike's response and the video I just saw now, where Wike was saying, oh, they had ridiculous expectations which he can't meet and all. So that means they already had the closed door conversation and they made their demands. It didn't sit well with him. They now went to protest. So the protest is an aftermath of the closed door negotiations that didn't go down well on both parties. So no, I don't think if they were not hijacked, because we've not substantiated that right now, we're just speculating, right, that the protest was hijacked. But whether it was hijacked or not, I think Wike already had it in his mind made up that he was not going to budge and give the people what they were asking for. So it was still going to end up how it's ending up anyways.
Okay, well said. I'll just make a little comment on this. I think this story, just like I said in the other story, that is Chukuma, the governor of Anambra State, I said there are better ways to go about things. Yes, it's good for you to call the press to address the issue, because a lot of people saw Minister Wike running away from his office that should be yesterday, and I believe a lot of people were saying a landlord leaving or not approaching his front door or not following his front door to enter his house. That what does this mean? It means that he is incompetent. So I would have loved if the minister have addressed this issue, because as the people of FCT, the workers of FCT, said that they petitioned to the governor, the FCT minister, which he didn't respond the first time and the second time before they took to the streets to protest. So I think he would have done better by dialoguing with them, with their chairman or the president of NLC or the workers in FCT. Better ways to do things. It's not really about trying to cause uproar or trying to give a narrative, provide a counter narrative to what their grievances are. And as regards the workers of FCT, I think I still feel their pain. It's really somehow sort of that when you go outside borders, when you're not in Nigeria, you're treated like an outsider. You're not being given the respect that you deserve as a human. And when you come down to your country that you're supposed to be given respected or given a certain pedigree, or rather given a certain respect, you're not accorded that respect. So it hurts. I can really understand that. I've been in that kind of position. So I love the fact that maybe they kind of express themselves and hoping that something good would turn out from this. But we're seeing that from the FCT minister's part, he's not ready to budge. But we'll see how that unfolds, because they've agreed now that they won't be going to work, that they will sit in their homes as they have been instructed, maybe by their leader. We'll see how that unfolds, whether they will come back to work or they will stay back at their homes. Now, in a Ebonyi state, Osborn Umahi, son of Nigeria's Minister of Works and former Governor David Umahi, has emerged as the APC chairman of Oha Ozara local government area. Following his victory, he promised not to disappoint the people, pledging what he described as big plans for the community. His emergence has reignited debate over political dynasties, with critics arguing that family influence continues to shape access to power, while supporters insist political participation is a constitutional right. The All Progressive Congress maintains that the process followed internal party rules, while the candidacy is lawful. Questions of fairness and access remain. Ultimately, attention will now shift from leadership to performance and whether leadership delivers tangible benefits to the people. Let's take a look at his speech addressing his people.
That the agricultural section of the local government is properly equipped and developed. Implement and initiate the use of concrete roads to ensure that we have durable roads that will last more than 50 years and above to provide our people with good access, and it will increase the economic development of our society. In conclusion, we work with security personnel to ensure that Ohoza is extremely safe. By the special grace of God, I want to assure the people of Ohoza that we have big plans and we will not disappoint this support. Our first year is going to be dedicated to youth empowerment and infrastructure development.
Congratulations to the son of I said the son of Dave Umahi. But there's something significant about the story that I just want us to draw from the story. We've seen that in recent times, a lot of politicians, even the president, have placed their sons in politics. Some of them, maybe some people will say that we are never interested in politics, but they are now in politics. We've seen in Rivers State where Wike takes along his son wherever he's going for any political meeting or anything political occasion. And we equally saw was it 2 days ago where Atiku's son defected to a different party, and we saw another politician's son resigning from his political position. It's more like son, father and son. And there is this thing that we discussed last year, which is this thing of political dynasty. We discussed it last year, and how these politicians are always bringing their son to replace them. And a lot of Nigerians are now saying that it looks like this whole we are the future or leaders of tomorrow is their own son that will become the leaders of tomorrow. But let me have your take. Do you think that this is political dynasty booming?
You know, it's interesting to see that our politicians have advanced from one level of wickedness to the other, where they're no longer concerned about generational wealth, gathering generational wealth, but they now want to gather generational power. Now, they're now very interested in ensuring that their legacies continue, in the sense of, you know, having their sons, having their kids in their stead, just shadowing them. We saw Wike's son, who is now running for House of Rep member in Rivers. We're seeing Yahaya Bello's son, who is already a House of Rep member. Now, Dave Umahi, I'm sure Dave Umahi thought about it and said, oh, I'm the Minister of Works. The Minister of FCT already has a son. A lot of politicians already have their kids in politics now. What's stopping me? And he went, and that guy looks like someone who just got back. He called the son home. We have work for you. It is now a family business. So let's not even talk constitutional rights. Oh yes, we have the constitutional right. Does it mean that I also don't have the constitutional right to contest and be voted for? If you're talking constitutional rights, how is it that it only favors the children of these politicians that have ruled us for so long, and instead of retiring, now they're putting their kids in their shadows, in their stead? I think it is a different level of wickedness. And the earlier Nigerians realize what is going on, what is being cooked behind the scenes, and we start trying to speak up against it, the better for all of us. I just think it is something that would continue if we don't start trying to treat it right now.
Well said. Now, for me, I feel like I don't have a problem with the son emerging as the commissioner for his constituency. The problem I have is, if you put an ordinary citizen now and put the son, will they be equal representation? Will the election be free and fair? Because we have over 230 million Nigerians that are super intelligent, super smart, have the constitution at the tip of their fingers, but they cannot, you know, stand in an election or win an election because a particular politician's son is involved in the election. So what I'm really concerned about is equal representation, free and fair play, not because you're the son of a commissioner, you have automatic ticket or automatic win to any election. So let's play a fair game. The moment we start playing a fair game in Nigeria, maybe we can start moving in a positive light, and maybe Nigerians will not be thinking about political dynasties. But this is where we are going to call it a wrap on Aside Hot right here on Active Citizens. My name is Ifoma Oji, and I did this alongside Sharon and Mchiku, my co-host. Thank you for doing this with me, Sharon. And to you, our viewers watching right now, thank you for always watching. But if you're yet to like, comment and subscribe, the time is now. Until we see you in the evening for Active Citizens Parliament. Do have a lovely afternoon.